She was born on August 28th, 16.
I've done that already.
2016. So it all began, I was 37 weeks along, and I had kind of known throughout my pregnancy she was going to come early. I just kind of got that feeling. I'm not really sure why. Mother intuition, I guess. And having a home birth, you legally can't have a home birth in California if you're less than 37 weeks or if you're over 42 weeks. So I had to make it to 37 weeks. So literally the day I was 37 weeks was the day that I went into labor. So it was at midnight and I had just fallen asleep when I got awoken by a very hot water kind of leaking out of my vagina. And I was like, what is going on? And so I got up and I went to the bathroom and it was slowly leaking. And it wasn't like a giant gush, it was just kind of like constant. And so I kept getting up and going to the bathroom and getting up, and my husband was still sleeping, so I didn't want to wake him up yet because I wasn't having really contractions yet. So I waited a couple hours, and a couple hours later I started getting kind of small contractions. So then I'm like, okay, time to wake up my husband. I know people told me that having a second birth, usually the baby comes quicker. And so I was a little bit nervous that maybe this could turn into, a quick labor. So my husband got up and we set up the birth tub, and I called Alicia and I let her know that, hey, just so you know, my water broke, but my contractions aren't really strong yet. And she had just finished up at a previous, she was actually up that night at a previous birth herself. So I said, go home, go get some sleep, don't come over here right away. And also told my home birth midwife as well. So I was up the entire night with these contractions. They weren't very strong, but they were every 5 to 7 minutes. And I was leaking all night long too, which was uncomfortable. But I wasn't in any pain, and I was listening. I had this app that Alicia told me to download. It was really helpful, and it's called Gentle Birth, and it has these really beautiful kind of exercises to listen to help you kind of like through your contractions and really just breathe and be positive. So that was really helpful. And then at 10 the next morning, Alicia came over and we had a really beautiful day together. We went for walks together. She made me little snacks and kept me hydrated, and we sat out in the sun in the backyard. It was a beautiful day, and she brushed my hair in the grass, and we just told stories to each other about our families and our lives, and cuddled my cats, and it was actually a really beautiful, wonderful day. As the day kind of progressed, my midwife came over, she checked on me also, and my contractions weren't really strong enough, and so she gave Alicia a couple of things to do for me, to take some tinctures to try to get them a little bit stronger, and my husband went and rented a breast pump from the hospital. That was also to help the contractions come on stronger. And we kept sending him off to the store to get little things that we needed that we didn't have, and he had a 1962 Buick Skylark he was trying to sell, and there was people coming over to the house looking at it. He was starting it up, and there was like fumes everywhere. So that was a little annoying, but I was okay. I was with Alicia. If I wasn't with Alicia, I would have been more annoyed. But she kept me happy and like calm, and someone to talk to and hang out with, and she's really pleasant. So she kept me in a good mood. And we kept listening to my Gentle Birth app, so that was really fun too. Chloe was here, my beautiful 8-year-old daughter, and she was kind of in and out, but she was kind of doing her own thing, giving me space, which was nice. And my 13-year-old stepdaughter was here. She was same thing. My mom was here also. She was kind of helping out with the kids, and my cats were cuddling me, being sweet. And then later around 8 p.m. is when the active labor started, and Alicia was with me the whole time. And helping me through every contraction. She would notice whenever they started, and she was massaging me and doing things like just holding me and just being really supportive the whole day. I kind of felt bad because she'd been here so long. I swear she was tired, but she was never tired. She's like a superhuman. So around 8 p.m. she called my midwife to come back over, and said, okay, Kristina's in active labor, you should probably come back. So she came back, and she was a little concerned since it had almost been 24 hours since my water broke, and she said, I need to give birth within the 24 hours or else she wanted to transfer me to the hospital because of risk of infection, which I did not want to do. Alicia kept me supported and said, you know, you can do this. I believe in you. Your body is meant for this. You don't need to go to the hospital if you don't want to. You know, I'm here for you, and I'll be your support. So that was really helpful, as I have a tendency to not be really strong in my decisions and kind of doing what people want me to do a little bit. So she was there for me and helping me stay strong on what I wanted to do, which was really helpful. And let's see what happened next. So we got the birth tub filled up, and I got into it for a while. It was pretty comfortable. I was in a lot of pain at this point, though. My contractions were super strong, way stronger than with my first birth for some reason, and it was intense. I definitely could not have made it through without Alicia. I know that. I would have definitely given up and gone to the hospital because I was in so much pain. She really kept me strong though, and really helped me through them. Then I got out of I wasn't ready yet. I wasn't 10 centimeters dilated yet, so I got out of the tub. My midwife didn't want me to get in there because of risk of infection, since I had lost my water previous night before. So that went on for another few hours. I was getting really tired. The last couple hours, I didn't even have my eyes open. I was awake, and I was standing up, and I was doing all these different movements, and upside down and over here, and Alicia kept me going and kept me hydrated. She kept putting a straw in my mouth and keeping me watered, and kept feeding me fruits and different things that I definitely wouldn't have done if she wasn't there. I wasn't even thinking about feeding or taking care of myself at all. So yeah, I'm really lucky that she was taking care of me. One time she had left the room to actually get me some food, and I had opened my eyes and realized she wasn't there, and I was like, my mom was there, my husband was there, my midwife was there, but Alicia wasn't there, and I remembered where's Alicia? I need Alicia. And they're like, don't worry, she's just getting something to eat, it's okay. One thing that I thought was really cool, and I think it was because of Alicia, was during this entire birth, I didn't cry once. And I'm a very emotional person normally, and I don't deal with pain normally very well, and I know that the reason why I didn't cry was because she really kept me positive and really kept me engaged and didn't let me go to that dark place. As soon as I tried to be I can't do this, it hurts, or anything negative, she just would change my mind, and she would put positive affirmations back into my mind, which was really helpful, and I was really grateful for. So then around well, another thing too was really nice. My husband was actually really supportive, and he was really kind, and he was there for me, but he wasn't in my face. He gave me a little bit of space that I needed when I was feeling hot or overwhelmed, and he was holding me from behind or keeping me comfortable. So I really appreciated that too. And then around, I think it was 1:30 in the morning. It was long. I was feeling really guilty because Alicia had been up all day with me, and my midwife had been up all day worried about me, and so I was kept apologizing. I'm so sorry, this is taking so long. And they're like, no, it's okay, don't worry, we do this all the time. But I was, I felt really guilty. And then around, I think it was 1:30, I was I seriously could not take it anymore. I was in so much pain, it was just constant agony, and I was I have to push her out. I can't wait, I can't do this anymore. And I was exhausted. I've been up for 48 hours at this point too. And so my midwife went to her car, and she got this little birthing stool, this little wooden stool to just crouch down on and hold on to on the floor next to my bed. And I just crouched down and I just pushed, and 2 pushes later, Amy came out. She was ready. And it was such a relief, because I just wanted those contractions to be over. So I didn't care. I was so excited to push her out, and afterwards was so relieved because I didn't have any more contractions. And it took a while though to get my placenta out too. That was kind of a thing. They were kind of worried I was bleeding a lot, and they were trying to stop it, and they gave me some cayenne pepper in my mouth, which was really spicy and I wasn't expecting that, but it worked. It was kind of like a cool trick. So, and then also my placenta was really interesting. It was like double lobed, I guess, and it was like a heart shape. And my midwives were like, oh my God, like freaking out and carrying it around, taking pictures of it, and they thought it was really cool. And so that was interesting. And I didn't know what happened to my placenta until like 3 months later. I found it in my freezer, like buried. And I wasn't sure what happened to it. It's still in there, so I gotta do something with it. But I was just really tired at the end and just really thankful. Everybody cleaned up really nicely and I didn't have to worry about anything, and they took such good care of me, and it was just really nice. I felt like the whole experience was so much more supportive than a hospital birth. I gave birth 8 years ago to my daughter Chloe at a hospital, and I had a midwife, and she was really sweet, but I didn't have a doula, and I didn't really know what a doula was back then, and I did have that support, and I was kind of on my own, and it was a lot scarier. And so this time having Alicia and having that support made it a lot less scary, and whenever I would get scared, she was right there for me, and it was incredible. And I really, really cannot stress enough, everyone should hire Alicia. Everybody needs her. I wish I could keep her. Like, when she left the next day, I was so sad. I was like, no, I want Alicia to stay forever. I got used to having that wonderful support from her, and I didn't want to be left without her. So